Some facts about sponges are: the name of a sponge phylum is Porifera, which means pore barrier in Latin. Sponges are predominantly
asymmetrical. Although an individual sponge may look symmetrical, there is no underlying organized symmetry. Organized as an assemblage of different kinds of cells. Example, colored cells. A sponge has no tissues, nervous or digestive system or organs. All the process of growth, repair, feeding, and reproduction are at the cellular level.
The skeleton is made of the collagen fibers and are frequently mineral spicules. The body of a system of canals and chambers. The sponge's body is a system of canals and chambers through which the sponge pumps a current of water in order to trap food, both sexual and asexual reproductions. Sponges were the first animals to reproduce sexually and asexually as well. Most are hermaphrodites, functioning as both sexes simultaneously. Sperm is released into the water and sucked into an individual of the same species, where it is delivered to the eggs. Later, a larvae is released into the water. Some keywords and concepts that you should probably know is a collagen, which is a type of protein in animal cells that form strong fibers, and they're found extensively in connective tissue. They're one of the most abundant proteins in the animal kingdom because they are intracellular matrices and bones. A multicellular organism is an organism composed of many cells, which are to varying degrees integrated and independent. A spicule is a tiny structure made of silica or calcium carbonate that, when present in large numbers along with collagen, makes up the supporting framework of these sponges. Conocytes are basically colored cells with tail-like flagella that continually whip, producing a current that draws water past their collars where food gets captured. The continuous motion of thousands of conocytes creates the pumping that circulates water through the sponge's body. And finally, cell-to-cell communication. Cell-to-cell communication is an important function and step in the creation of multicellular animals. Sponges were the first multicellular animals ever with cell-to-cell communication, but their cells still function most independently. In other more complex multicellular animals, cell communication with one another in order to carry out all the processes of life.
Sponges are abundant at all depths in the sea. Adults are anchored to a submerged object called sessile. They are multicellular, but there is little coordination among them.
Skeletal framework. The skeletal framework of a sponge may be fibrous or rigid. The fibrous part comes from collagen, fibrils in the intercellular matrix. Rigid skeleton consists of needle-like spicules, calcareous and siliceous. Composition and shape. The spicules form the basis of sponge classification.
Members of the sponges include many organisms, including crabs, nudibranchs, mites, virozoans, and fish, and they all live as commensals or parasites in sponges. Here we have an example of the neighbors of the sponge. Now, on towards the sponge anatomy. Many sponges have minute needles or calcium carbonate or silica or a tough protein called spongin, or both. Here we have somewhat a demonstration of what the sponge anatomy looks like.